Samuel Little, a name whispered in hushed tones, surpasses even the most notorious figures in sheer depravity and the staggering number of lives extinguished. Born in 1940, Samuel Little's early life was marked by instability and neglect, setting the stage for a life marred by violence and despair. Samuel Little's true extent of depravity remained hidden for decades, a predator masquerading in plain sight, targeting society's most vulnerable. Little's chaotic and troubled entry into the world in Reynolds, Georgia, marked the beginning of a life starved of affection and marred by neglect. Adolescence did little to quell the storm within Samuel Little, his brushes with the law escalating from petty theft to more serious offenses. Little's first known encounter with the justice system for a sexual crime came in 1976, a chilling foreshadowing of the horrors to come. The 1980s marked a dark turning point for Samuel Little. As he graduated to murder, his victims often left discarded like refuse. Little's crimes, marked by a chilling lack of a defined modus operandi, made him an elusive target for law enforcement. The majority of Samuel Little's victims were women of color, their lives marginalized and overlooked by society. As the body count mounted, Samuel Little transformed his crimes into a twisted game, taunting authorities with subtle clues. In the summer of 1982, Samuel Little claimed his first known victim, Pamela K. Smith, setting in motion a reign of terror that would span decades. Three years later, and over 1,000 miles away, the echoes of Pamela Smith's fate reverberated in the bustling streets of Opelousas, Louisiana. It was here that Samuel Little, his bloodlust rekindled after a brief stint in prison for assault, claimed the life of 36-year-old Carol Cole, a mother of two struggling to make ends meet, her dreams of a brighter future for her children slowly fading with each passing day. Carol's encounter with Little followed a tragically familiar pattern. He spotted her at a bus stop, her shoulders slumped with exhaustion, her eyes reflecting a weariness that spoke of countless struggles endured. He offered her a ride, a seemingly innocuous gesture of kindness that concealed a sinister motive. Carol, perhaps swayed by his charm or simply desperate for a moment's respite from the weight of her circumstances, accepted his offer, unaware that she was stepping into a nightmare from which there would be no escape. Little drove Carol to a secluded area outside of town, his demeanor shifting from charming to menacing, the mask of normalcy slipping to reveal the monster lurking beneath. He strangled the life out of her, his hands a weapon of unimaginable cruelty, his actions fueled by a perverse need for control and a chilling indifference to the sanctity of human life. Carol's body was later discovered dumped in a ditch, her lifeless eyes staring up at the unforgiving Louisiana sun, a grim testament to the darkness that had descended upon her. The year 1989 saw Samuel Little's reign of terror continue unabated, his trail of death leading him to the bustling streets of Columbus, Ohio. It was here that he crossed paths with 26-year-old Audrey Nelson, a woman battling addiction and struggling to find her footing in a world that seemed indifferent to her plight. Audrey, like so many of Little's victims, existed on the fringes of society, her life a tapestry of broken promises and fleeting moments of hope. Little encountered Audrey at a bar, her vulnerability evident in the way she carried herself, her eyes reflecting a mixture of pain and defiance. He approached her with his practiced charm, offering her a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, perhaps a promise of something more. Audrey, desperate for connection and a moment's escape from the harsh realities of her life, accepted his advances, unaware that she was staring into the face of her own mortality. What happened next remains shrouded in the darkness that surrounded so many of Little's crimes. Audrey vanished without a trace, her disappearance initially met with the same indifference that had greeted so many of his other victims. Her family, clinging to the hope that she was still alive, spent years searching for answers. Their pleas for help often met with dead ends, and the heartbreaking realization that Audrey's life, like those of so many marginalized women, held little value in the eyes of a society quick to judge and slow to empathize. The sweltering heat of a Wichita, Kansas summer seemed to amplify the sense of unease that permeated the city in 1991. It was here, amidst the grain silos and sprawling plains, that Samuel Little added another name to his ever-growing list of victims, snuffing out a life with a brutality that spoke to the depths of his depravity. Her name was Denise Brothers, a 39-year-old woman struggling with addiction, her existence a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Little encountered Denise on the streets, her vulnerability evident in her weary eyes and the way she carried herself. He offered her a ride, a seemingly innocuous gesture that concealed a sinister intent. Denise, perhaps swayed by his charm or simply desperate for a moment's respite from the harsh realities of her life, accepted his offer, unaware that she was stepping into a carefully orchestrated trap. Little drove Denise to a secluded area outside of town, his demeanor transforming from charming to menacing as he revealed his true nature. He brutally beat and strangled her, his rage erupting with a ferocity that left investigators shaken. Her body, bearing the marks of his savage attack, was later discovered dumped in a field, a grim reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of a seemingly ordinary man. The year 1994 marked a turning point in the saga of Samuel Little, though not in the way one might expect. It was in the city of Los Angeles, amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, that Little's carefully constructed facade began to crumble, his crimes finally catching up with him. His victim, 41-year-old Diane Drake, a woman struggling with addiction and living on the fringes of society, would unknowingly play a pivotal role in exposing him for the monster he truly was. Little's encounter with Diane followed his well-established pattern. He spotted her on the streets, her vulnerability evident in her weary eyes and the way she carried herself. He offered her a ride, his demeanor a carefully crafted mask of concern and empathy, a wolf in sheep's clothing preying on the weak and vulnerable. Diane, perhaps seeking solace or simply a moment's escape from the harsh realities of her life, accepted his offer, unaware that she was stepping into a carefully orchestrated trap. Little drove Diane to a secluded area, his demeanor transforming from charming to menacing as he revealed his true nature. He beat and strangled her, leaving her body discarded like refuse, a chilling testament to his utter disregard for human life. However, unlike his previous victims, Diane's death would not go unnoticed. Witnesses came forward, providing crucial information that linked Little to the crime scene. He was arrested and charged with murder, his reign of terror seemingly at an end. Los Angeles, 2012. The City of Angels, a sprawling metropolis teeming with dreamers and drifters, had always held a dark allure for Samuel Little. Amidst the anonymity of the urban jungle, he sought refuge from his past, his crimes buried beneath countless unsolved cases. But the shadows he cultivated were about to be pierced by justice. Little's capture was a testament to the tenacity of law enforcement, particularly the LAPD and the FBI's VICAP. His DNA, collected years earlier, lay in wait for a match that would expose a monster. A warrant was issued, and Samuel Little was finally apprehended at a Kentucky homeless shelter. Section 2. Unraveling the Tapestry of Lies. Little's arrest sent shockwaves through law enforcement agencies across the country, as investigators realized they had apprehended not just a murderer, but a serial killer of unprecedented scale. The man who had once seemed so unremarkable, so adept at blending into the background, was now the focus of intense scrutiny, his life and crimes the subject of countless hours of interrogation, analysis, and investigation. Initially, Little remained defiant, clinging to his carefully constructed facade of innocence. He denied any involvement in the murders, dismissing the mounting evidence as circumstantial, and proclaiming his innocence with a chilling conviction. However, as the walls began to close in, and the weight of his crimes pressed down upon him, a strange transformation occurred. Little began to talk. What followed was a series of chilling confessions, each more disturbing than the last. Little, perhaps seeking a perverse form of notoriety or simply relishing the opportunity to relive his crimes, provided detailed accounts of his victims, their faces etched into his memory with a chilling clarity. He drew portraits of the women he had killed, their eyes staring out from the page, a haunting testament to the lives he had extinguished. He recounted his methods, his motivations, and the chilling ease with which he had taken life, his words sending shivers down the spines of even the most hardened investigators. The tapestry of lies he had woven for decades was unraveling, revealing a monster far more depraved than anyone could have imagined. Section 3. A Legacy of Horror, A Reckoning Deferred. The sheer scale of Samuel Little's crimes sent shockwaves through the nation. Law enforcement agencies scrambled to match his confessions to unsolved cases. The official body count attributed to Little stands at over 60. Many believe the true number of his victims may never be known. Little's victims, mostly women living on the margins of society, were often overlooked. Drug addiction, poverty, and sex work made them easy targets. Their stories, silenced for decades, finally found a voice in Little's confessions. In 2014, Little was convicted of 3 murders in California and sentenced to life in prison. He continued to confess to murders across the country. His cooperation did little to assuage the pain and anger of the victims' families. Samuel Little's death in prison in 2020 brought little closure. Section 1. The Monster Among Us. Samuel Little's story is a chilling reminder that monsters often walk among us, hidden by normalcy. His victims, mostly marginalized women, were rendered invisible by society. Their disappearances were met with indifference, allowing Little to operate with impunity. His confessions provided a measure of closure to the families, and his portraits became a testament to their humanity. Section 2. Scars on the Soul of Justice. The case of Samuel Little exposed deep flaws within the criminal justice system, highlighting systemic biases and institutional failures. The marginalized status of his victims played a significant role in his ability to evade capture. Their disappearances were often met with apathy. Lack of communication between law enforcement agencies compounded the problem. Little moved freely, leaving a trail of death and despair. His ability to exploit these vulnerabilities serves as a stark reminder of the need for greater accountability. Samuel Little's reign of terror may have ended, but the scars on the soul of justice remain.